It's not that I try to be disgusting intentionally, I'm disgusting as a person, so it kind of comes out. So everybody, it's Sunday night. We're here at Sexy Rex and Friends.
Yeah.
I really like that word, friend. I think it's an important word. I try to be a good friend myself, but I fuck up a lot of the time because I'm stupid. But, you know, the effort is sincere. The effort is always sincere. Like, you know, I'm not the guy that you might call to, like, take to the office party, but if you gotta dispose of a body at 4 in the morning, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know much about, like, cars or computers or stuff like that, but homemade explosives, I'm your guy. I can't take you on a tour of the great sights of Europe, but for $30 I will show you my penis.
This is risky.
Penis showing is a good gig. You can make real money. Normally I wouldn't charge my friends, but you know, a man's gotta eat, so eventually. It's just basically, my spot rate is 30, and then for 50 I'll get it hard, and for 75 you can touch it. Just for the record, a touch is not a grope, it's not a grasp, it's not a fondle, no, it's just a touch. Because like when people don't understand what a touch is, penis showing becomes a really crappy job. Anyone here got a crappy job? Yeah, someone's always got. I've had most of my jobs being crappy jobs. Like my first job ever was working the graveyard shift at Dunkin' Donuts. And remember my second shift, my boss comes over to me and she says, "Ryan, how would you like to go home early today?" And I was, it's like you read my mind. I was just thinking that I didn't want to be here. This is great. And she's like, fantastic. Just clean the mice out of the drive-thru and you can go. A little background on that. We had a lot of mice. Apparently they like getting run over by cars. So the drive-thru was always dotted with these flattened little rodent corpses. So I get my garbage bag, I get the gloves, I get the ice scraper out. I go, it's funny, but it's not a joke. And I was just thinking that life couldn't get any worse when I was dealing with this one stubborn little guy who didn't really want to come off. So I just ended up grabbing him by the tail and pulling. But his intestines were mashed into the road, so they started kind of unraveling and sticking. And then, in what must be the penultimately most disgusting moment of my entire life, the intestines snapped up and came up and hit me right in the mouth. And I was just paralyzed. I was sitting there thinking, I am making minimum wage. I am making minimum wage. Do you know how many mice you have to scrape up to make $30? It's not like, no, it's a big deal. I didn't actually deal with, here we get to the really good part. I didn't actually deal with anything that disgusting again until I had this other job a few years later as the night janitor at this mall. First of all, like there was this one guy, it has to have been one guy, but every Saturday night he would come and shave his pubes in the urinal and piss all over them. Now, that's fast-growing pubic hair, but I refuse to accept the notion that there was like a team of people involved. That's just too much for me to like, I just have to tell myself it was one guy. But I was ready for it. It's every Saturday night that happens, and it takes about half an hour to clean up. It's like not healthy piss, it's like orange and dark and nasty. And I always would do the ladies' room afterward. Just wait. I'd do the ladies' room afterward because, you know, it's the ladies' room. It's nice. Ladies poop there. How bad could it be? Usually that was my, like, nice wind down. Not this time. I walked into, on my last evening as a janitor, what I can only describe as the remains of a tampon fight. Oh yes. There was blood everywhere. And it was not a natural smell. It was too many vaginas were involved in making the smell happen. It was very, very, very unpleasant and uncomfortable. And normally I enjoy menstrual blood. Really. Oh yeah, that's cool. It's like Captain Redbeard up here finishes that. Yeah, it was too much of a good thing, really. Way too much of a good thing. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what I did next, but like I say, it was my last night as a janitor. I can't tell you because it's too disgusting. You know that if I think it's too disgusting to tell you, then you really don't want to know. I mean, I know we're more tolerant and progressive as a society, but I don't think we're quite there yet. We are more progressive. You know, when it came time to choose a new president, America elected a black man. When it came time to choose a hero to lead the people seem to have settled on Charlie Sheen. And, you know, when it came time to choose a new pope, the Vatican elected a goblin. I think that's very progressive. I think it's interesting. And I'm always surprised to see that guy in the sunshine. It seems like the kind of thing that would turn him to stone. And, you know, I'm I'm going to make fun of the way the Pope looks in a little bit. There's nothing really politically motivating behind this. I just think that, like, I'm not trying to make any deep statement or anything like that. I'm just kind of pointing out the fact that he looks like something that should be guarding an enchanted sword in a wizard's dungeon. And I just, like, I can't even fathom. I would hate to be like his PR guy, like the guy who had to make him look good, because you know he has PR guys. That would be a crappy job. Like, just trying to even, like, bring some semblance of humanity to that. I could just see it like, Your Holiness, we need a minute of your time. God, are you eating? Is that alive? Okay, well, we've been talking, and we think that there's a few things we can do just to freshen up your image, you know. Just one big thing, just please, you gotta stop talking to yourself in public, and if you are gonna talk to yourself, please use a first-person pronoun like I or me. And you really got to stop calling yourself my precious. You're freaking people out. You know, we know that you're committed to all of God's creatures, but some of us seem to have noticed that you show a disproportionate enthusiasm for God's more poisonous children. I know you don't want to hear this, but the spider box has to go. We can't have that anymore. And I don't know how people wind up in there, but if another person does, you're going to have to yell something like, you know, call 911 and not feed my pretties, because sometimes they survive and they talk, and that's just bad. If I was in public relations, I think I would want something a little easier, like ambassador to Terror Island or president of the Crack Cocaine Anti-Defamation League. It's true, crack is a bad rap. It really does. It's kind of unfortunate. I consider myself to be somewhat of an expert on drugs. You know, tried a lot of them, like a lot of times, frequently. Not anymore, really. I don't really do anything much now except for smoke weed because I got into drugs because they were new and they were fun. Stopped being new and stopped being fun, so I stopped doing them. The end. It's easy like that. I actually think there's more people like that than are not like that. That's why I devised my purely Canadian solution to the drug problem, which is I think that we should just have a license. Just like driving or guns. You know, if you see someone's buying it all the time, then maybe they get points in their license, get it taken away. If you arrest them when they're high, then they can lose their license. They don't buy it anymore. Real simple. And a lot cheaper than what we're doing now. That would be, of course, another really crappy job, to be like driver's ed for cocaine or something like that. Like, oh, well, he kept his pants on and didn't stab anybody, but I definitely feel he blew the stripper portion of the event. So we're going to have to just give you a provisional license, $1 gram a week. We'll see how you do. Yeah, you can keep that job. You can keep all your mouse peeling, pope helping, pee wiping, blood scraping jobs to yourself. I got my own thing going on. And on that note, who's got $30?